so difficult not to talk.
It is difficult not to talk shit. But when I say don't talk shit, it's more of a don't be that dude kind of shit.
Yeah, don't take it seriously.
So
yeah,
don't be John Romero level, but
yeah, exactly.
Well, I had to get for a moment there. This is not Quake as I remember it. I will say that much.
It is. I am getting fucking owned, and I've only been in this server for 5 seconds, minutes, maybe. I think
that's
maybe.
For you.
Maybe posting the invite link on Twitter was a mistake.
Don't worry, randos from the internet who never stop playing Quake will jump on and be like, "Oh shit!"
How are they still alive? How have they not fused to their chairs at this point?
I was going to say they uploaded their consciousness to the collective internet.
That is exactly what I was wondering. Oh God! Well, hi everyone. Hi, I'm the Space Quest Historian. God, I don't even have my fucking face cam on yet. Camera.
It's good to hear your voice again, sir.
Thank you. It's likewise. Welcome to death.
It's right into a lightning blast.
Ah, yes, the lightning blast. Oh, things that we have missed. Things that were near and dear to our hearts. Is this the end? Did I just? Who are these people?
You did a thing. You did a good thing.
I did a thing. I'm not sure I did a good thing. I'm here. Fuck you. I'm getting an easy frag. God damn it. This is probably.
Oh man, your frame rate is so low. Is it just because you stream at like cinematic frame rate?
Oh wait, my stream is set to 30 frames a second.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. Like as long as you're playing at 60, it's good. Everybody else can be confused.
Yeah, I don't think people are gonna watch this for the scintillating gameplay that's going on.
Alright, I got my first frag by telephone.
Hi everyone, who's in the chat? I hear Alex, of course. Hello, Alexander Mejia. How's everyone?
This is Samuel Lawson. You can talk over me anytime you want, as we usually do.
Double kill.
Hello, Sam. Good to hear you.
Good to hear you too.
I am Dead God. I stream PSVR games under my real name, John Rogers. Feel free to stalk me.
Hello, Dead God.
Stock.
Hello, Dead God.
I was going to make some sort of 90s industrial joke with regards to your nickname.
Well, actually, the name is inspired by Nine Inch Nails. So.
Is it really? I thought it might be inspired by Tim Skold, who was briefly the bass player for Marilyn Manson and did an EP called Dead God.
No. It was inspired by the song Heresy, track 3 from the Downward Spiral.
One of my favorite albums of all time.
Are you really gonna get me with that? Just grab the lightning gun and discharge. Just end it for both.
Do not grab the lightning gun and discharge underwater. What is wrong with everyone? This is supposed to be a safe haven.
You're supposed to discharge underwater, but only when surrounded by at least 2 other people.
So that you get.
Oh, come on! I just spawned.
I did a very bad. Now, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you're wondering what the fuck is going on, well, congratulations. So am I. What we're doing today is ostensibly we are celebrating the birthday of Quake. Quake was released this week. I'm kind of late, but Alexander, what day of this week was it?
It actually launches in 2 days.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the gore.
June 22nd.
June 20th.
Quake. Yeah, in 2 days.
In 2 days. Hang on, I just gotta check my my filter settings. I'm just gonna make sure you guys are audible on the stream. You are.
So what you might want to do is apply a color correction to Quake because it's super dark as it streams versus what you see on your screen.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. The reason is that they use an OS level brightness adjustment, not like the actual game.
Well, that is amazing. I'm gonna fiddle with that, and why don't you guys? Starting with you, Alexander. The reason why we're playing this is essentially your fault.
This is my fault. It's my fault. I take the blame.
Because you've been streaming Quake all week, haven't you?
That's correct. Yeah. So we started at the beginning of this week. Every Monday, we typically do some sort of a celebration for Doom or Quake. So Quake's in the summer, Doom is in December, so it kind of lines up about 6 months apart. And we just play because for a couple of reasons. One, it's free. Two, it's near and dear to my heart. Three, I have not practiced this speech, but I'm still playing and surprised that I'm doing okay. Three, it's free. The clients pretty much auto-download everything that you need, and there's an active community still developing maps, and the original maps are still good, and it's just a good time.
It is a good time.
They're arcadey games. You don't have to really teach anything. It's like pick up gun, shoot person.
Yeah, and it's not
point and shoot interface.
It has a very nice point and click interface, one you might be familiar with other mouse-driven adventure games of the time. Yes.
Point and shoot interface. I like that.
Where the hell is the Brighton thing in OBS?
So in OBS, you add a filter. It's called a color correction.
Oh, color correction.
If you're using an old version, it might be.
Yeah, here we go.
Quest
Gamma.
4.
Gamma. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Boop the gamma up, and then.
There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There we go.
And then, because what'll happen is on the transcodes, it's so dark, you just see a bunch of mush.
Yes.
Oh, that's so much better.
As opposed to So just
my next album.
Just to fill you in, what happened was I made the horrifying mistake of going on Twitter and telling everyone that we would be playing some Quake in approximately 2 hours. This is something I deeply regret at this point, because apparently a bunch of insane people joined and are busy kicking my ass. Well, pumping it full of nails, but that's kind of a technicality.
I think I said vulnerable. I gotta get out of there.
And also the voice chat is technically also open to the public. This has not proven to be as huge a mistake as I was fearing it would be.
Nah, it's good. People like this game. Look, here's the thing. If you're playing this game, you're probably an adult.
If you're playing this game, you're probably either an old fart or a robot.
You know, it's really funny. I think there's still an active.
Sorry, Sam. What was that?
I think there's also still an active Doom community.
Oh yeah.
As well. They use Z Doom, but
yeah.
There's an active community for these very old school 90s FPS, and I hesitate to call them old school FPSs. I mean, this is from a pure era. This is where you don't have a use key, you don't have
iron sights.
Yeah, irons. You don't have like a tree for marking up your weapons, or you don't have crafting. You don't have any of the shit.
Treadmill. It's great. It's pick up the weapon and you go.
And you very much go, and if you don't go, someone else will go at you, which is what's happening on my screen. Pretty much.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna go at you. Where are you? Where'd you go?
But
I have not found the quad damage yet.
there is something pure about this. There is something pure about this
I got
whole
you, shit for
experience. Hello, thank you.
Hey,
by the way,
Mike,
I am Captain Shit for Brains.
Headphones, or you push the button and go.
What I'm saying is there's a purity to this sort of action where you don't even have to use a special key to open doors. You don't have to use the only key you really need to remember is which key is the fucking rocket launcher. Beyond that, it is just an absolute fray, and if you blink once, you're dead.
And lightning gun.
Also lightning gun.
Default, it's E in Quake for rocket.
I fragged someone!
You did it. You did the thing. Now die.
I'm sorry for getting all antsy on you, but it's like the first time that's happened in the last 20 minutes. Have we been live for 20
I
minutes?
just fragged you, shit for brains, so
That's okay.
Yeah,
This is a no fragging server. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. So my server is haunted. It will talk to you.
wow.
Alright, 8 seconds left. Hey, I want to call E1M1. Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do it.
Oh god, E1M1. Yeah, let's fucking do this, man.
Hit 50 frags before timeout.
Yeah, here we go. So
Yeah.
we have shareware version. We can also do the Space Newbie map, which is E1M8, I believe.
Oh, that one's fun.
This
Here
is
we
a
go.
very,
E1M1.
very... Here we fucking go.
Oh yeah, this
This
is
is
what
a
I
bad idea,
remember.
but here we go.
By the way, everyone in the text chat, I'm very happy you've joined us for this this mission. I have no idea what you're saying. I simply cannot keep up. I can barely keep up with the game as it is. I'm gonna shoot this dude who fell in the fucking asset. Okay, I'm not. Does everyone have
with the rocket?
the same skin? Everyone has the same fucking skin.
Yeah, so if you go into the console and type /noskins1, and then on reboot, it will change it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Do I have to reboot? Do I have to reboot?
Not reboot, but on reconnect. So on the next map,
Reconnect?
change.
Oh, you don't. Oh no.
You know what? Actually, reconnect. You have -1 kills. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that seems worth it somehow.
So what do we have to enter in?
/noskins1
in
on the
console
console.
/noskins.
There we go.
Yeah, and now everybody will have like colors and stuff. They'll be like, it's the red guy, run, or oh, it's the guy with the blue. I know to run at him.
And remember, folks, don't go to the exit on a multi-story.
Whatever you
Just let them
just
figure
said
it out
was
on their own.
drowned
They're like,
out by
"Why would
the
you exit them out?"
absolute measure of inhumanity going on right now.
I just love how you're all giddy about there's like 20 people in the server. We've been doing this all week, son.
Yes, there are several questions that need to be answered that are very, very hard to answer while bullets are flying everywhere. God knows how many limbs. The reason we're playing Quake right now... Hi, I'm the Space Quest historian, by the way. We're playing Quake. There's already a discrepancy here that I'm sure everyone's very fond of. The reason we're doing this, A, is because this is the birthday of the game, and second, I actually used to play an awful lot of Quake. This was...
I think we all did. If you were like a PC gamer in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the
PC
best
gamer born in the
multiplayer game.
80s. Played Quake.
It's there was a period of my life, a very long period in fact, where I was just barely a teen. I must have been like 15 years old when this came out, because it was 1995. And there was a period of my life where I would go to a friend's house every weekend with my huge desktop computer and my CRT monitor, and my brother would come with me, and we'd go up 7 flights of stairs and we'd play Quake with this dude called Peter, who has since, you know, disappeared off my radar completely. But it was a fun time, and this was the time when I learned like mouse look and switching weapons on the fly, and also trying to be a good sport while dying horribly.
Do you have a cool config that you'd like to share?
Yes, I jumped
Because a
with
lot
the
of people
Q
were
key.
like trying to figure out their Quake, like their FPS config, because it wasn't really settled upon yet.
Absolutely don't want to use my config. My config is all over the place. First of all, Q is my jump key, and I still use the number keys to switch weapons. Except R is my rocket launcher, and F is my shaft.
So you're WSAD still?
Oh yeah. Now see,
Okay.
when we were starting out playing Quake back in the 90s, I would play with the keyboard, and as with my brother and my friend, and we were the only ones playing. It's not like we attended LANs or competitions. Perish the thought. We would just sit there in his apartment like 3-on-3, just play all
Grab
weekend.
that quad and rocket.
Oh God!
It's yours.
Oh. And I totally fucked that up. But yeah, so when I started using mouse look, because remember, when Quake came out, mouse look was not default. Keyboard look
It's not
was
even in the
default.
options either.
It's not. You have to go
Someone
to.
just said camper. Seriously?
Well,
Are
it's
we
the
back
90s
in
again. I'm back at
2006
home.
now?
I'm back at home, dude. You used to get beat up if you were like camping at LANs and shit. They were like, "What the fuck are you doing, camper?"
Yeah, camping.
I'm
Don't
getting
fuck-
killed.
Don't fucking perch, man.
Back then, you know?
Don't fucking perch. So yeah, when
You're
I
not my
started.
mom. You can't tell me what to do.
When I started mouse looking, I got my ass handed to me because my friends were so used to playing with keyboard look, and there's auto aim in Quake, so I would absolutely get my ass handed to me. I was like flailing all over the place. And then, slowly but surely, I would start wailing on their asses. And I distinctly remembered the map when it finally hit my brother and my friend when they should start doing mouse look. And it was the first boss level of episode 1. You know, that thing with the, you know, the thing rising out of the lava thing? The thing?
Near with Botep?
Yeah, Cthulhu stand-in named Capone.
Yeah, the House of... That was the one. Because the lightning gun, the shaft, is really easy to get in that one, and I was just owning ass at that point. They had asses, but they belonged to me. I just nailed someone in the ass. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of ass jokes in this stream.
Ass.
I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree that ass is not a.
Ass for a hat.
Regardless of your preference, ass is a wonderful thing.
This show is brought to you by Booty.
By the way, if you're new and joining the voice chat, please announce yourself loudly and preferably using the word ass.
Loudly and proudly.
Wait, I recognize that voice. Who's that? That sounded an awful lot like Gruntislav. That can't be Gruntislav.
Alexander.
What's up?
Change his name.
David
I didn't
X!
change my name. I didn't change shit.
Oh
I was just
shit!
taking a break.
I just fragged David X. David X Newton is in the in the stream. Hello, David. David is a lovely man. He plays escape room games. And I just killed him. I can't even.
Someone's name is Windows Me, and they were third place.
Of course they were third place. They were always third place.
Third place is pretty good, considering it was ME.
Bunch of hackers.
Oh, I just fragged me.
Oh god, this map is a lot more frantic.
Yes,
This
it
map
is.
is
Yes, it is.
designed for multiplayer.
Is this
You know,
the
weapons in
only?
corner.
Is it just this huge fucking arena? Is that it?
No. There's a whole map cycle. We got a whole thing here. We'll go through it in
haven't
an hour
s-
because these maps will last for like a few minutes.
I haven't seen the rest of this arena. I don't think there is the rest of the arena. I think you're lying to me.
There is no rest of the arena. There's just rockets and weapons.
Rocket.
I will have you, blue thing. Well, I will have you, white thing then. That's
I will
okay.
kill him.
I'll save you now.
You know, it's great. We all just get together, a couple friends on a weekend. We didn't have to take our computers anywhere, and we're all playing Quake.
Now that
We're
is
still friends after the game is over.
No, we're still good friends after it's over because it's not like Bomberman where you can be like, okay, I just saw what you fucking did. Like,
No,
you don't know what happened.
Bomberman will actively ruin friendships. This Quake has the distinction of being just a friendly game overall. So much shit is happening on screen at every given moment. You don't
can't be
have
mad at
time.
anybody.
No, you don't have time. Could you pick up the rocket launcher, please? Shoot this dude in the face. That'd be great. Thank you.
So how often are you getting shot in the back?
By Buford Tannen over a matter of $80. Sorry. Sorry, did I interrupt your train of thought?
No, I was just asking how many times you've been shot in the back because like I don't get shot in the back very often.
I get shot in the back all the time. I'm not even sure where my back is at this point. I think my spine is 20 meters left of the rest of my body.
Pretty sure
Ow.
you're jibbed everywhere now, man.
I fracked myself.
The only thing I don't like about the default config is the gibs are off. I mean, it makes it easier to see and stuff.
Sludge
But
Bullhole just fragged me. Ah.
Sludge Vohal just fracked you? There's a sentence you don't
Yeah.
hear every day.
oh, you're gonna turn the gibs on?
Sorry, I just had to turn the game down. I could barely hear you guys, and that means the rest of the stream is
I
suffering
think
as well.
the brackets left and right next to the slash key. I don't know what your keyboard layout is, but I think that's the default for the sound.
My keyboard is Klingon, so yeah, we're all screwed. I just killed myself a bunch of times. So
Negative score, dude.
negatives. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely great. I'm in fact having a great time.
Oh shit.
All right, axe fight in the bottom. Go.
Easy kills. Hello, dead Gartha. You are indeed dead right now.
Hello, love.
You know,
Hello, love.
the only dishonorable thing I can see in Quake, or at least to me, is killing someone who's not actually playing. Shoot me in the back,
Define not
fine.
actually playing.
Steal my kills, fine. My window loses focus and you kill me, I hate you for life.
Well then, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it first.
Speaking of hating everything in sight, the reason that we are playing this is not just because we like it and it's the birthday and all of that. This was indeed an integral part of growing up, and I'm not just saying that because, it's frantic multiplayer action. God knows there's been a ton of these games so far. One might even argue that there have been other games since Quake who have done it just as well. They would be wrong, of course, but it's a matter of fact. This is not just about the game itself.
Take that, Sludge.
This is about the experience of growing up in the 90s before the, let's say not before the advent of the internet, but very much at the
Prevalent internet everywhere.
Prevalent. Let's just say internet play was not a thing, and if it was, you are not going to enjoy yourself.
This was the first TCP/IP game. Everything else was a workaround around some local network bullshit.
Yes. So when this game came out, people used to meet up in giant halls, arenas, gyms. I used to go to these LAN parties, and these were small by international standards, but I used to go to these gyms where there would be like 200, 300 people with their desktop computers. These were all teenagers. They smelled horribly, and we would just sit there and play Quake
Dang,
until...
dude, why you gotta be all down on teenagers?
Have you been one?
Smell bad.
Sounds a bit smellless to me.
Yeah.
Hello! Could you introduce yourself in the chat, please?
Oh, hey, this is Wirebrain, but I'm
Hi.
going as Quake Quest 4 today. You are playing Quake Quest 4. As always, you've been a real pant load.
Yes! Fantastic. I telefragged the second I got in the map. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best
you
can
don't
hope
even know
for.
what you're getting yourself into.
No, I just dropped in lava. I'm supposed to bunny
Just don't
hop.
die. No, you're not supposed to bunny
Yeah,
hop,
it's
dude.
a
You're
rocket
supposed to just
jumping
not-
map.
These,
Yeah,
no, I
Yes.
fucking suck at
You have a lot
rocket
of health.
jumping. Oh,
Just jump before you shoot. It's like a frame. Jump a frame before you shoot. It's a lot easier.
I'm just gonna stand here. This is the worst thing you can do, kids. Just have a look at this. This is the worst thing you can do. Everyone
I got it
hates
for
this
you.
person. I am now this person. There you go. Okay, so getting back, 250, 300 sweaty, nerdy teenagers in a gym with all their desktop computers, and that was absolute bliss. We would sit there.
It was.
And we would play Quake, and we'd drink a lot of Coke, and we'd eat hot dogs, and we'd shout at each other. People brought their sleeping bags. We'd sleep under the tables. It was...
We want to play maps like this.
People were using ICQ.
It was incredible doing the LAN stuff. Okay, so you were did you go to DreamHack in Sweden? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I never got that far into it. We did a lot of like local lands around Zealand in Denmark, and once I went to the party in Jutland, which is like the most well-known LAN party in Denmark. This map is awful.
I love this map.
Awful fun.
But I went to the party, and I actually won the MP3 contest because I was making music in trackers at the time, and somehow I won 1,000 Danish kroner, which is like $10.
Oh god, I was like, whoa.
And
there
then
was some serious cash for like prizes in these tournaments and stuff for Quake, because like game makers are trying to advertise and be like, come on, don't you want to play Total Annihilation? How many Total Annihilation shirts did you get in the 90s?
Now,
Was that not like a Europe thing?
This is interesting. Before esports, before everyone having teams and you got this dude shouting in your ear, go, flank the right, flank the, do something. Before everything got so fucking serious, the only sponsors at LANs that I went to were like Netgear, because you need
Like networking equipment and stuff.
Yeah, you need
For
to
us, it was
over
like Red Bull. Red
maybe,
Bull of
yeah,
Monster.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there was the Balls drink, BAWLS. Does anybody remember
Oh,
that?
I remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
No, there was
delicious.
Surge in Europe. There was Surge, which had the unfortunate rechristening of Urge in Denmark, which is somehow even worse. But yeah, this was
Urge to go to the bathroom.
yeah, exactly. And we would have these awful competitions in between death matches where you would have to like dunk a chocolate milk, like a liter of chocolate milk, and everyone would vomit everywhere. It was horrible. It was great
Why would you do that?
because we were bored. And did I mention we were teenagers?
I know, but still, like,
Like
I
a
don't remember
snot-nosed
doing dumb
rat.
stuff like that.
Well, then you haven't lived yet.
I don't know. There were a bunch of 20-somethings that were playing when I was like maybe like 10 or 12. And I got started early on this game.
Wait, that was the thing. That was the thing I wanted to say. There was no such thing as esports. There was no such thing as sponsors. There was no such thing as team captains. It was just
For
you.
like maybe a year or two. But then
Oh,
like
I remember the
tournaments
league.
started happening. I mean, they didn't call it esports, but like tournaments started happening and it was like, oh, there's the thing. But there was never really a ton of money. It was like they would just take like $100 from everybody's.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, oh, you got $100, so surprise.
And that was kind of like trophy money. It wasn't even about the money. It was just the fact that you went there and you smelled horribly, and I still have a fucking shotgun. What is wrong with me?
I don't remember smelling so bad, man. I'm just saying right now.
That
I mean, I probably did, but I just don't remember.
there was a lot
Listen
of
to
It's more of an
SQH.
other people problem than a you problem.
Yeah, SQH just going to these Quake conventions and going like, oh man, smell those smelly teenagers.
Who knows? I mean, I was the smelliest one there, and I just like, I don't smell anything.
That's
You don't
the
notice your
thing,
own
right? If you're not the smelliest one in the room, you probably no. Wait, I got that wrong.
He who smelt it, dealt it.
If you don't think anyone smells in the room, that's probably because you smell the worst.
So, I think
How
it's
do we
really
get-
important to point out too that even though this game is internet connected, the reason why there were so many people bringing their computers to one location was that internet latencies were not easy to get low. When you were on dial-up, your default ping, like the lowest you could get, if you had everything in an optimal situation, which you weren't going to because it's analog lines, was about 180 milliseconds of lag. And this game does not play well over 100 milliseconds of ping.
Because
And all
even
the
the,
Europe's there having a wonderful time, I'm sure.
even the genius John Carmack did not know how to write netcode back then.
David!
Hi, I worked out how to join the voice.
Yay! Welcome, David.
Welcome, David.
Thank you.
Hi, David.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you
hi.
sound like you've got some
Hey,
great
hey.
memories.
Yes, David, being a well-educated Scotsman, could you give a European perspective on the massive awesomeness that is smelly teenagers in gyms?
Tell me about
we-
all the smelly teens you know.
We didn't really have a multiplayer Quake scene at all because all of our telephony equipment was built out of cans of beans and bits of string. So yeah, and every move in the original Quake, every move you make has to be sent to the server, and then the server has to send it back saying, "Okay, you've moved." So multiplayer Quake was just madly roller skating around, not being able to control what you were doing.
But that was everybody. I think 150 ping,
Yeah.
200 ping. I mean, there's people that play with 300 ping, and it was just like there was nothing else. That's like, fuck, we played it. This is like the went to school uphill both ways in the snow and bare feet story. You know.
It kind of is, but in the same way, this is not the my life was so much more difficult than you youngsters kind of thing. It's a my life was so much pure back then kind of story.
I'm glad you see it as a positive thing.
It is. It is because I realized that games have gotten more complex and they've got arguably more satisfying, I suppose, with the fact that you actually construct rather than disintegrate. But at the same time, there's something really, really pure about the fact that you just have your left mouse button and a space bar. And then your WASD, and you are just causing so much havoc. And if you blink once, someone else has caused havoc. I fucking hate this map, by the way.
Delicious.
This
This was my favorite one. This is my favorite one in theory, but in practice it doesn't really work. I just love the idea of hanging out behind traps and triggering them on people.
You're one of those people, are you?
For this map. It makes it a little bit more friendly so that there's just not some guy just leaving the trap open the whole time. Nobody can get through.
Nope, the police are after someone playing Quake.
Yeah, they're just like, whoa, we got a mass murderer.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck me.
Someone's on a kill streak and we gotta stop him.
The trick to playing Quake, as anyone noticed, is actually to take a very deep breath and then and try to keep cool, and also apply one of those facial apparatuses that you see Malcolm McDowell have in A Clockwork Orange, so that you don't blink, and then you're good to go.
Don't blink.
Yes. But who am I gonna have moisten my eyeballs?
I don't know, but I just love the phrase "moisten my eyeballs." I want to start a doom metal band that's called "Moisten My Eyeballs."
Sure you don't want to call it "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
Oh.
That's
Like
the first
Quake
single.
Party.
And it's gonna sound like Nine Inch Nails circa 1995. By the way,
well, see, that's the thing.
Oh, good
Playing
night,
Downward
Joe.
Spiral while you were playing this game was awesome. I used to also listen to the Ministry album too.
why
Ministry.
would you listen
Which
to?
one, Soul Pig?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was like they like Ministry and Nine Inch Nails. I would just like turn it up really loud and just like drown out everything, just like run around and frag everything.
Okay, I have two things to say. First of all, the soundtrack is already by Nine Inch Nails. Why would you put
but
on a
it's got
different?
one hard song, and you're gonna frag all that droning stuff? Hell no.
Droning stuff is awesome. I see your point. Second of all, my CD, my go-to CD when playing Quake was actually, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this. Everyone on the server is actually gonna turn on me for this.
You gonna tell me the Spice Girls? Were you listening to the Spice Girls?
No, nothing quite as controversial. This
Tender,
was
madly, deeply.
this was 1996, by the way. This.
Tell us what you want, what you really, really want.
It was Prodigy's "Fat of the Land."
All right, so we gotta just go around.
I
the room,
really,
just go
really,
for it.
really want to zig. You're at Vertigo.
Oh God, Dave. Oh, that
Please
is.
tell
How
us,
do you
Space
kick people?
Quest historian.
Oh, it was Prodigy's "Fat of the Land."
What? You made it sound like you were gonna listen to something like kind of goofy. That would be pretty awesome to listen to.
It actually works really well because the track Minefields is the track that usually plays on the first map of every episode. So even if you're playing single player, the track Minefields kicks in and it's got this deep fucking bass and everything is awesome. But the reason I say it's kind of goofy is because did I mention the soundtrack is by fucking Nine Inch Nails?
Yeah, but like I said, it's got the one track on, and the rest of it's kind of drony, like
Yeah, but
ambient
it's
stuff.
did I also mention that Nine Inch Nails is my favorite band?
Nine Inch Nails is good. I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, I listened to Downward Spiral a lot, and then like a Ministry album. I can't remember the name of it though. It was just like hard thrash metal, and just like went on the whole time. Industrial metal, I guess.
Yeah, the 90s were really good with industrial metal. I mean, there's a part of me that just goes, I kind of miss the 90s industrial metal era. Like when Burton C. Bell could actually sing. I really miss that
Fear
era.
Factory, yep.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Turn it on if you want to. It's like it still exists.
That's
All
true.
right, CDs. Who played Quake in the 90s? What CD did you have in the drive?
Yeah. Let's
I
hear
used
it.
to put in the Earthworm Jim CD and listen to really inappropriate music.
You're correct. That is very inappropriate.
The what was it? Gloom Keep had the banjo music from the Asteroid Slayer. It was fantastic.
Here's probably Rust in Peace from Megadeth.
Rust in Peace by Megadeth. Okay, not too bad. A bit of Christian metal. Can't really fault that.
Oh, that's Quad Rocket.
What did I do?
I mean, this was the days before Spotify. This was before we had choices.
Yeah, you had to actually buy the CD in a shop or burn it. And CD burners were not cheap.
CD burners were not cheap in '96 or '97.
No, they were
It
not.
was like '98 that they started getting like around $300. It's like,
I
do I
cannot
get a
bunny
graphics
hop
card
up.
or do I get a CD burner?
Fucking. How do you bunny hop upstairs? How do you not die?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Side jump, I guess.
I was probably listening to a lot of Devo at that time.
Devo.
Devo.
I want a fucking demonstration of how Quake works with Devo in the background.
It doesn't, but I also played, what is it? I played a lot of King's Quest 3 while listening to Devo. So.
Really?
King's Quest 3?
King's Quest 3 is my favorite adventure game.
Which one? The enhanced version or the original one?
The original 16-color EGA gold box.
Well, in 1996, there was only one choice. There was only one governor. There was only one choice. What the fuck just happened?
What do you mean? What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I just
That
got
was-
fragged 3 times in a row by something.
It was me, Pantload.
Is your name Pantload?
Yeah, my name's Pantload. Thanks for being such a thanks for being a Pantload or something. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Ah! He took my armor. Sorry. Go ahead.
Eat my fucking buckshot, assholes! No trash talking, by the way. Sorry.
I'm just being angry
No
at
trash.
myself, okay?
Yeah, that
Everybody
works.
else is really cool.
Eat my buckshot, I am an asshole.
It is me, the asshole.
Well, at least you're not a pant load.
I did not think this through. I did not think that anyone who played Quake would read my fucking Twitter account.
Are you kidding me? Like, this was the game in the 90s.
Yeah,
Even
but
if you hated these games, you still played them because you liked people.
that is an
For me,
interesting
it was the other way
point.
around.
I know, I didn't like people. I've met thousands of people playing Quake, and about 12 of them weren't idiots.
Did you go, David? Did you go to LANs?
I never went to LANs, no.
That
No,
might have
it
been
wasn't
the
really a
reason.
thing, because you had to haul your entire desktop computer around.
Yeah, it was fucking great. I loved it.
I had calluses on my fingers just lugging that fucking thing up and down stairs. Did I mention that whole every weekend thing with my friend? He lived on the fucking like 7th floor or something.
Yeah.
That's actually a very, very interesting point. Dave and Alex, you're talking about, because Alex went to a lot of LANs and says that everyone's just really nice. And Dave says, I played this online and everyone's a fucking dick.
Well, they were all Americans.
The greater internet platform.
Sure.
Yeah, but Americans, when you're face to face, are like, hey, what's up, man?
Americans
we
are
can
okay.
be nice as long as we see a face. As long as there's not a face involved, then it's just like.
If it's
like,
the
fuck you,
muzzle
buddy.
of the gun, then they're less courteous. But yeah, the interesting thing is, if you went to LANs and you played Quake, or indeed any cooperative, any deathmatch kind of game, or cooperative for that matter, if you went to LANs, you were sitting right across from the person you were trying to kill and or assist. In the I literally just got a super shotgun rammed up between my cheeks and it went off.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I enjoyed that very much. The joy of that was that there really were no hard feelings. There was a lot of shouting, and there was a lot of swearing, and a lot of inappropriate language. Obviously, it was the
Jumping out of your
90s.
chair.
But no one got upset. No one got really. I mean, one or
Nobody
two people
stayed
got
upset.
Yeah, it was
Nobody
like
stayed upset, is what I think what you're trying to say.
yeah. Whereas online play, and Quake World in particular, once Quake World came about, all the casual players left and the really hardcore robot nerds stayed behind. It was a
The
different
game
ballgame.
wasn't new anymore, and then there were different choices too.
I mean, what we're experiencing right now is kind of symptomatic of what Quake turned into, at least for me, which is, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just holding down the fucking left mouse button and things happen to me.
Hey, sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not
Just
paying
shoot
attention to
everywhere and
everything
hope for the
either.
best.
But
Let's
it's
do Space Newbie map.
Oh, Alex,
E1 on
I updated the skin.
fuck me. Oh fuck me. Oh, thank you.
no.
Yes!
yeah.
Yes! Yes!
yeah.
That's gonna get you left, man.
Yes! Alex, you fucking prince. Dude, we love this map when we're because this changes the fucking game on you. This changes everything. I don't know why they didn't do more low gravity games. Yeah. Thank you, Blue Danube.
Low gravity grenades. Holy shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the
Fuck.
rocket launcher.
Out of ammo. Here we go. Get.
You can purchase our gravity DLC for $39.95.
Oh, he's got a pentagram.
Don't worry. Just he won't be able to get you. Just run away.
I love the sound of a well-educated man shouting, "Oh no, he's got a grenade."
I say, he has a grenade.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no is not
It looks
is
like
the
our
combination of
Endor,
oh no
chap.
and oh lord.
Oh my, the chimp has a grenade.
Oh shit! There goes the planet. Sorry, we don't mean to make fun. It's awfully endearing, is what I'm saying.
Oh hell no.
Does anyone have a really like regional American accent they can do the same thing in just for
What? Oh no, he has a grenade.
Yes, let's just get every
Oh,
accent.
hell no.
It'll be more.
He has a grenade.
A regional American accent. Oh, you want like some Southern accent or something, right? Yeah.
That's kind of what I was fishing for.
Well, dang it!
No,
You
sorry,
got
that's not
yourself a grenade.
Gosh darn it! He is a grenade. That's the
Can't
sound
go
of a
vomit at a grenade, mule.
Scandinavian
Look,
person
there, man.
impersonating a southern person. That is not good. That's gonna start a civil war.
Well, I'll tell you what. I kill people with propane and propane accessories.
Propane grenades, man.
That boy ain't right.
Guys, I'm not a dang old propane grenades, man. Dang old boom.
Damn it, Bobby.
Alright,
Somehow
I got
I
stuck in
can't
there.
understand a damn word you're saying. Must be all that damn video game lingo.
Oh yeah, the word frag.
What the hell are you doing?
Did you tell me this, Charles? That the word frag isn't id Software invention. It was used in the Korean War or the Vietnam War.
I did not
Yeah.
tell you that, but I
It
appreciate
is
the
a
trivia.
word.
It was used for soldiers who murdered their commanding officer, and they often used frag grenades to make it look like an accident.
Oh, that is.
And that's where frag came from.
Yep.
I was just gonna say
Yeah, it's
that's
a military
awesome.
thing.
It's
That's
not really,
Messed
but
up.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's like the actual story because like they would just say how many frags did you get in military, just it might have come about because of that.
May have
But
evolved, yeah.
But like at least at that time, like just saying like frags like was like all right, how many kills did you get? It was a
I
military
just
thing.
fragged Windows Me. Better defrag, man.
But yeah, that actually is a pretty good thing to bring up because like now, the Olympics is trying to bring esports in there, and one of the rules is you can't have games that glorify violence or death. And
Well,
so
you got
you'll
a
notice
problem,
that
then.
a lot of these games say elimination now.
I can't wait to play a hug match.
Yep. So I'm just telling you right now that it's just like, and we were talking about this. It's like, would they allow for like Overwatch? And the answer is maybe.
I think
Are there any games that are not violent that are massively popular?
Madden?
Yeah, like
yeah,
Hearthstone
like
and stuff.
NBA 2K
Well,
and Madden.
Madden, but there's
Did you say
tackling. Football
horse
is an
semen
inherently
stuff?
violent sport.
Wait,
I
hang on,
don't
hang on,
think
Alex.
Houses are a big
Wait,
difference.
Alex,
An
what
esport
is
based
what
off of
is the
sport is-
esport game that involves horse semen? I am very interested in this.
What?
Wait, what?
Hold on, I don't think I heard that right.
From a galaxy far, far away, located just off the Beltway at exit 7.
No, I'm pretty sure Alexander said something about horse semen, and I'm very curious how that
I
plays
did not
into a
say horse
competitive
semen,
semen.
but you know what? The mind gears what it wants. Charles.
And this is why you don't work at supermarket.
Hi, I'm the Space Quest historian. Would you like some horse semen?
Oh man, we're crossing the streams here now. Jeez.
And this is why you always leave a note.
Ah, point for the Arrested Development reference. Not to mention the horse semen. Sorry for getting everyone sidetracked. Yes, violence in competitive gaming. One could argue that throwing a spear very aggressively and at great distance is kind of a violent act in and of itself.
That's the thing.
Well, it depends if you're aiming for one of the linesmen or not.
There you go.
And I would say,
What about the winter sports, the winter games? I mean, they have an entire game where you're essentially a James Bond villain. It's skiing and shooting.
That's what they're saying. It's like, look,
the
these games
biathlon.
can have guns because, you got it in the winter games.
I mean, I know paintballing isn't an Olympic sport, but come on, most of the
I
Greco-Olympian.
ran out of bullets.
Yeah, that's not an Olympian sport.
But
But
I just hope that
most of the
I hope Tetris
Greco-Olympian
becomes an e-sport
Oh
for
god.
the Olympics. The Tetris
Actually-
Grandmaster people are insane.
When's Wii Sports gonna become part of the Olympics?
I think 26 or something.
Someone come up here
So,
and let
so
me
by that
nail
time
you.
we'll be like moving on to like, you know, something like Mind Sports or something, you know.
Mind sports. And I'm going to stare deeply into your eyes and make you regret everything.
Well, I mean, in Star Trek, they have what is the name of it? I can't remember the name of the game offhand, but it's described as a combination of handball and a phaser ring.
Parisi Squares? Is that it?
Is that Parisi Squares?
That sounds,
I remember,
like
like,
Hollywood
Parisi
Squares,
Square-
but like way less fun.
We are not nerds.
Parisi Squares was considered like this really rough sport that gets a lot of kids injured.
Yeah, I thought
Reese's
Parisi
Squares?
was like
Is that some
Parisi.
sort of new
polo.
snack?
I think sounds like what I'm feeding my baby. Hi, would you like some Parisian
okay,
squares?
I remember now. It's velocity. That's the one that's described as a combination handball phaser ring. Parisi Squares, I'm pretty sure, is like similar to polo or something.
There's a rule too.
TNG reference.
This is so fucking fun. When you
I'm
get
glad that
invisibility
you're
in
having a
Quake,
good time, man. This is what I wanted. I just wanted people to be like, dude, I remember this was fun, or new people to come and be like, this is insane. Like, why aren't games like this anymore?
Exactly. I'm so happy we're doing this. This happened just a second ago. I met someone in the server who had invisibility. It was quite obviously a person with invisibility because they were just two eyes floating towards you. Who
I
says?
just shot them.
I mean, there was this thing when Quake came out. There was like, oh well, at least Doom had a sense of humor. Did it? Did it really? But Quake.
Bunny on the head stick.
Yes, and John Romero's head on a spike. But Quake absolutely has a sense of humor as well, and it's just yes, it is a grey, dull mess most of the time if you're playing the single-player campaign. But my God, it is glorious.
3, 2, 1.
Wow,
All right,
I
guys, I
did.
think that's gonna do it for me.
I did terribly.
Wait, which one is Space Quest?
All right, so
Historian?
now this is a little more. He's shit for brains.
Oh,
So
this
is,
one.
This is a more modern level where we spawn you with the rockets and lightning gun and a lot of health and armor.
You have
and,
got to be fucking kidding
You
me.
got 3 minutes of constant on. You know, hope your brain doesn't
Yeah, that's
3
where I
minutes
bow out.
of pure unadulterated chaos.
What the hell
This
is
even more
happening?
fitting with the Sting Throw chipboard skin I made.
No, honestly,
I
what
just
is?
hear everybody when I say Mortal Kombat.
I'm so weird without gravity. This level needs to be low gravity too.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. Yeah, words out of my mouth. This needs low gravity. Although, with all the rocket,
Hold on. I may be able to deliver.
without the involuntary rocket jumping, it is kind of like low gravity.
Okay, no, it didn't work.
Well, this is Samuel. I appreciate
you
you guys
tried to
having me
low
here,
grab
but I
the
gotta take off. Thanks for having me on board.
It was lovely having you here. Cheers. Stay slinky. You've been a real pant load.
Yeah.
Material payload.
You've been a real pet load.
I'm just gonna stay here in my
man.
corner.
Too bad
This
you
is
didn't get Tim Kidsrow to say that.
what the hell is this?
How is no one winning?
Does anyone know? I mean, okay. Here's my thing. And in the 90s, we had a choice of 2 games. This is really when Quake 2 came out. We had a choice of 2 games. Either you were into Quake or you were into Unreal Tournament. And I know they're pretty much the same thing, but I was feverishly...
Oh, them's fighting words.
No, I was adamantly...
In essence, they're the same thing.
In essence, yes. I was feverishly Quake because whenever I played Unreal Tournament, it felt like just random shit was happening. Like, there was no skill involved. It was just random shit. Accuracy was all over the place. The weapons were weird. They had alternate fires. It was too complicated. I was a Quake dude all the way.
Yeah, I liked it when they kept it simple, too.
And I got shit. I got massive shit from friends of mine who was like, let's do Unreal Tournament. We played Quake all evening. Let's do Unreal Tournament. I was like, no, you are no friend of mine. I banish you. But this map is very Unreal Tournament to me.
All right. I like how your brain works, man.
I'm just mashing buttons. Remember those guys who used to play...
Sleep at night.
Remember those guys you used to play Street Fighter 2 with? Like on the Super Nintendo, you'd go home to someone, you'd drink a lot of Coke, you stay up to 4 a.m., you played Street Fighter 2, and they would just sit there and just mash the buttons, just... This is pretty much me playing Street Fighter 2.
This map actually might be big enough for all
I'm
of us.
mashing the right buttons.
How did I get... Someone got telefragged just walking into the fucking map. Just, welcome to the server, dickhead.
That's Quake for you.
Yeah. There is...
Gameplay, what's that?
That's the thing, though. Can we have a brief but fruitful discussion about the mercilessness that is Quake, where everyone is sort of on the same page, ostensibly, unless you're a fucking robot. But everyone is kind of on the same page, and everything is so frantic. Whenever you start, you have a shotgun, and then it's just up to... You know,
they give you the worst weapon in the world, basically, and then they're like, "Have fun," and there's like, you need to find a weapon to
that's the thing,
do anything.
Alex, it's not the worst. The worst weapon was the fucking Doom pistol. This game starts you with a shotgun.
I guess you're right.
Could be worse.
You have a little bit of firepower. It's a lot faster.
In this game, it's the equivalent of a Doom pistol.
Yeah, considering that you can one-shot people from far away in the map, you could never do that in Doom.
Exactly.
The super shotgun.
Come on! I just got the rocket launcher.
Well, the rocket launcher.
I just picked it up.
You just gotta get good at rocketing everybody. And then once you do that, then it's just like, oh man, you start going on those streaks.
But the amount of skill it takes to join a Quake server revolves around being able to look around and holding down the left mouse button, and that's kind of it. Everything else is
I mean, that'll get you started.
That'll get you started, but everything else is sort of like the skill tree. It's kind of like...
I mean, if you want to win, though, you got to get that lightning gun aimed down, and then you got to learn how to time the armors as they go around. You know.
I guess what I'm fishing for is in comparison
it's easy
to
get started, but it's hard to master. It's like a
exactly in comparison, or I guess in juxtaposition to modern day shooters where you could essentially pay to win.
You put in.
Yeah, it is the time you put in.
There's a treadmill and there's weapons to unlock and stuff. It's bullshit. I hate that. Because I don't have that kind of time to sink 20 hours into a game before I can actually play it.
Or money for that matter. I want to sit down
and play it for like 20 minutes. Yeah, and this is free now. It's like...
Then you go to the store, and then you gotta go buy new weapons after each match. And
yeah, it's such a drain on the speed of the game. I just want it to just go fast. You know, if I want to go into the store, I'll go into the store, but...
If there even has to be a store. There doesn't have to be a store. The whole point is, this is a game of skill.
They're trying to monetize it, right? They're trying to get as much money out of people as they can. And this was about, before that time, before it was like, hey, let's get as much money out of people as possible.
By the way, any frag I actually get is more or less dumb luck. I'm Roger Wilcoing the shit out of this game.
You're not in last place, sir.
Is there a broom closet you're sleeping in?
I wish.
Yeah, just the broom closet is called the room with the rocket launcher. Just hang out there.
I
jump
don't
around and
mind.
shoot at the rocket launcher.
So
That's what I
Roger,
do.
what's it like being a space champion?
It's pretty good, except for all the rockets.
Yeah, see, you're doing it. You're doing it, sir. You got it. Proud of you,
Okay,
buddy.
I'm getting into this. I'm actually chasing people instead of just running away. I'm actually oh, fuck, that was 3 frags in a row and I'm out of rockets. That's okay. Have my corpse,
Feels
sir.
good,
You
man.
burned it. My key bindings are all over the place, by the way. I should have checked this before I
I
started.
just need to get 1 frag. I'm gonna give it the axe.
Are you actually going to axe someone?
I'm gonna. Yep, I got you. In the
I asked to it.
Good fucking lord.
You're welcome.
Quick rundown. The age, the demographic of people in the server right now, just in the voice chat. Just if this, just where are we?
I'm 34.
34.
Just go by birth year. Make it easy. 84.
Well, if we're going by birth year, then 86.
86, 84. I think we're all 80s kids. I think.
For me.
Did you just hear? Did you not hear 93, sir?
93? No, who said 93?
Me.
Nevik?
Hello.
The old and new can appreciate this.
Yes. See, here's the thing, because I was kind of expecting everyone to go, okay, anything later than 91. I was like, yeah, all right. I was kind of interested in seeing whether this was just pointless to the generation that came after us, like after millennials. Is this a millennial shooter? Is really what I'm getting at. Did I just frighten
I
myself?
mean, you'd have to get somebody under the age of 20 to play. That's Gen Z is technically 20. Like born, I believe it's after 1997.
Well, that's going to be a problem, isn't it?
This to me is like a more chaotic version of Half-Life, because I was more of a Half-Life deathmatch version.
Half-Life Deathmatch was not bad, by the way.
It was really good. I liked it a lot, but
Yeah.
people didn't play it because it was like not Quake and not Unreal Tournament.
And also,
wasn't
Counter-Strike came along.
Yeah,
It's
Counter-Strike was
not the game everyone plays.
I will actually. There's
Let's
something
all
to say about
bunny hop
that.
around the server.
Ach, mein Lieben!
I do want to ask everybody here about this though, because we had this discussion on our server. There is kind of like the popular game in LANs and stuff. It was Quake, and then like there might have been a racing game and an RTS game, but like for shooters, it was Quake.
Yeah.
And then when Quake 2 came out, it was Quake. And then once Unreal Tournament came out, people started realizing, okay, we all don't have to play the same FPS, and so communities got split apart. Do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing?
In terms of...
I mean, I see it as both. For me, it's good in terms of like, okay, there's a diversity of shooters and stuff out there. But for me, it was a bad thing in terms of community before we were all online and could organize easily. You know, back in those days, it was hard to organize around a game or to be like, let's all play a mod or let's do something that's kind of niche or something, you know?
Interesting.
Like Quake Rally.
Interesting, because when I went to LANs, when we played Quake, when we even entered into Quake tournaments just for the shits and giggles of it, it was never about let's go someplace where they play Quake. It was let's go someplace where they have computers and there are other nerds and they smell weird. It had absolutely nothing to do with the games they were playing. In fact, there was like a healthy divide between people who are playing Quake and people who are playing what was that that voxel game?
Soldier of Fortune?
Nah, the precursor to those Rainbow Six kind of games. Deserts.
Rainbow Six?
No, not Rainbow. Oh fuck.
I know what
Anyway.
you're talking about. I think it was one of the Soldier of Fortune games.
Rainbow 5.
No. Oh, anyways, anyway, and then of course you got your StarCraft and you got your Total Annihilations and all that. And I would just set those out. I mean, people would go, okay, we've been playing
I'll
Quake
say
for
this,
3
with the LANs I went
hours.
to, it was 80% Quake and then 20% other.
Now see, that's weird because it was pretty evenly split, all the LANs that I went to. And I went to mostly private LANs, actually. Like, someone would invite 8 or 10 friends round their house.
I see.
And
when I went to the big like pay, go into like a big warehouse, play Quake, it was like 80-20.
Okay, I really want to know this from.
But it could be an American thing too.
Yeah, I think
that these games are really popular in the U.S.
I really want to know from around the world because, okay, in Denmark, and I realize this is just a subjective thing. I never went to the like big LANs. It was mainly just house parties, house party LANs. You'd have like 10 or 20 people, and you'd all sit around and you'd deathmatch, and then people would splinter off. Let's play some StarCraft. Let's just sit around. Let's eat some toast, and because no one was drinking at the time because we were like
that sounds
16.
very sensibly European.
who eats toast?
Like we're gonna eat some good
at a
food
LAN
because that's what we
party.
have, and I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm hungry. It's 4 a.m, but we're gonna get some Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, fast food restaurants aren't open in the middle of the night in Denmark. But yes, please let me hear the American sort of culture around LANs in the 90s,
Right.
mid-90s.
So I grew up in the Midwest during that time, and so like there was a big LAN in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, called LAN War, and that was like the big one in the Midwest, and it was held in like some gymnasium, and there was probably like 300 or 500 people that would come to it, and when it started getting big, it was around that Quake and UT time, and it was maybe like 40% Quake, 40% UT, and then like 10% other games. And then they had to have file sharing time periods so that you wouldn't lag the games. That would be like after like 11 p.m. So that's another thing we can talk about too is files.
So you mean Louisville?
Yeah. So like if you were from the area, in which we knew a lot of people as Louisville, like you say, like no, you don't say Louisville. You don't say it all out like that.
You don't say Louisville. You have to sound like you're like
you just got that.
You have
southern
marbles
drawl.
in your mouth.
Yeah, Louisville.
I feel we're getting sidetracked. But so it wasn't really. So how far did you have to go to attend a LAN? Was it like you had to sleep over?
Like a big LAN like that was 2 hours, but there were ones in the city I lived in too that were maybe only like 20 minutes away. But they had way less people, like maybe like 50 or 60 people tops.
And what was the mood like? Was it competitive? Was it like communal? Was it people having a good time and going, hey, do you want to play some Quake? Yeah, sure. And then all of a sudden 20 people joined.
It was all of that, but I played competitively. So like the people that I hung out with were very, very much like on point, on game. We're going to practice. We're going to do this stuff. And I was totally into it because like I just loved playing at really high competitive levels. Like for me, if I weren't losing, the game was not fun for me.
Well, I think you've just honed in on the grand difference between you and I, sir.
Yes.
Which is that I suck at every game I've ever played.
And you've got whatever you have.
I suck at every game I've ever played.
Spirit.
Which means that I don't play competitively. I used to throw keyboards across the room when I thought I was playing competitively and losing. And then someone pointed out to me, dude, you're always losing. What the hell are you doing?
And then yeah, see, that's the thing. This game teaches you good life skills. It's just like you're gonna be losing 90% of your life, and if you can be okay with that and learn how to persevere regardless of all the negativity and stuff that happens,
yeah,
you'll do all right in life, man.
It's a life skill, and I'm very interested to hear about the competitive spirit of things because, like I said, I don't have a competitive spirit.
Did Windows M just try to electrocute me underwater?
He was thinking about it.
And killed himself.
Come here, buddy.
The trick is when you're underwater and you're using lightning gun, you have to have more than one other person around you. Otherwise, it just negates your kill.
Yeah.
Well, you get negative because you just kill yourself. Quake test.
No,
but if you have two people in the drink with you.
If you only kill one person with a lightning gun underwater, then you get a net of 0.
So, did anyone else approach this game from a I'm going to own everyone standpoint versus I'm going to play this for the fucking shits and giggles of it?
I mean, I like being there for fun.
First, but then I realized that I'm probably about middle of the road when it came to all my friends I played with. So then it went from, well, I'm not going to own everyone, but at least I'm going to take someone down with me.
I will readily admit that when I was a teenager, I thought that you had to be competitive. It was a sport like everything else, and I suck at sports. And then sports sort of infiltrated my gaming sphere, and all of a sudden I had to be good at gaming like I was not good at sports, and I got very frustrated. And
Look, man, like when you're a teenager, like that's like the default. You're like, man, I gotta flex, and then it's just like you don't have to. You learn that away, and like that's part of growing up.
Yeah, but I never had anything to flex, which really I kind of got a little bitter, I suppose, because what the fuck just happened there? I kind of got a little bitter because competitively, sports-wise, not much of an athlete, and then all of a sudden,
me too. That was the worst.
Ow.
But all of a sudden, that competitive spirit sort of bled into my sacred little computer gaming world, where it was all about picking up shit and talking to people, and all of a sudden we had to get together and pretend we were hot shit because we could move the mouse a certain way, and it kind of... There was a period there when I just got a little bitter, really. Then I got better.
I thought you were too busy playing this. You can't talk to anybody with it.
What I'm saying is, if you took this game seriously, which I made the mistake of doing when it came out, playing with my friends, playing with my brother for that matter, then I was in for a world of hurt and sort of like a real
It could have been an age thing too. Aren't you like 2 years younger than me?
Are you 82?
84.
84. I'm 4 years older than you, dude.
Okay, well, for me, I was coming to that age like 12 or so, where it was like, okay, I got a handle on like my feelings and stuff.
Well, you're a much more mature and wonderful person than I am.
But I had also been playing FPSs like since Doom, and when Quake came around, I started doing tournaments, and like my first tournament, I got to finals, and I fucking blew it because I couldn't get a handle on my nerves.
Hang on,
and like there I realized like, man, I gotta play as if like I'm just not playing the tournament, but just playing a pickup game all the time.
Can we rewind this for a second? Alex, for those of you who don't know, is I was going to say celebrated game author, but he is a game author, if nothing else. He owns his own studio. He helped develop the Saints Row games. This is my favorite fucking map, by the way. He has accomplished a shit ton of things in his lifetime, and he's 4 years younger than me. Can someone throw me in the lava, please? I don't want to live anymore.
Everybody's got their own mountain to climb. Do not compare yourself out.
Yeah, well, mine just turned out to be a sheer fucking cliff face.
You know what? It doesn't matter how big your mountain is. You will find a way to climb it. And when you do,
start.
Who invited fucking Deepak Chopra into the fucking chat?
Guys.
And you could start climbing the mountain by quitting your job working at a supermarket.
Just don't work at a supermarket. That's the first step to climbing your own mountain.
Yes.
You have to join us. If you don't have a supermarket job, you have to find one. And then you have to be like, I quit.
I used to be good at this map.
You just got the job here. It's like, yeah, don't talk to me about my mountain.
Actually, put that in your notice, in your 2 weeks notice. Just don't talk about my mountain, dude.
Don't talk about my mountain.
Don't talk about
Dude, you're harshing my mountain.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is it's all about the mentality that you put behind everything, and you got to put the right mentality on it, because life will eat you alive if you don't. Buried alive. Buried alive. That sounds like a song.
Oil change place. Ooh.
I suck at this map now.
It's okay. I'm spawn camping this corner. I'm just shooting rockets at it at this point.
My world is flashing before my eyes.
Well, you're one of those. You're one of those people.
No, actually, that's also a good point. I know that's not what you were referring to, but I am now apparently one of those people who equates age with accomplishments. So the fact that Alex has accomplished much more and is 4 years younger than me is like a source of great consternation to me.
Than me, man.
What?
There's like influencers
you have such a young spirit.
Like half of our ages that are more accomplished than us.
I have a young spirit.
Yeah, but there's like 4 starting under 30,
viral on TikTok.
So
I just love the fact I have a young spirit. Yeah, I make fart jokes and I swear a lot, and I have a Twitch channel. Yay me!
Well, I have a Twitch channel. I don't make fart jokes.
No,
Maybe that's why I thought I was like older than you.
I'm still amazed that like people like Francisco Gonzalez is also like 3 years younger than me, and he's like,
Yeah, he's about my age too. Yeah.
he's got several games under his belt, and he is also a very well-adjusted person. And it's like, okay, apparently age is not a qualifier.
Yeah. No, it's not.
In my act.
There's a couple things in terms of like I'm gonna do things and accomplish things in my life. One of them is kind of shitty, but it's just like you're in a place where you have a lot of opportunities because you know people or you are a certain status or have a certain amount of money.
Yes.
But there's also setting yourself up to take shots at the basket. And you want to make sure that you strategically basically set yourself up to take as many shots at the basket as you can.
Did anyone see that fucking shotgun action, by the way? Oh shit! I wish that map went on for maybe 5 minutes more. I'm still last, but that's okay.
Actually, do you have a map you want to do? Because I can just set it to it. Let's do one of the other classic DM maps.
Yeah. Let's do DM6. The sister.
That should be in the list. I don't know why it's not in there. There's there's 2 rocket launchers in this, so have fun.
Now.
This is a good one-on-one map and a good free-throw map.
This was my second favorite map when I was a kid. I've forgotten every trick there is. No, you do have a point about swinging for the basket, as it were, and just to expand on that belabored metaphor. The thing that I'm still struggling with is also don't think that the basket is perennially out of reach.
Yeah.
Don't just think that.
All I say to people is they're like, well, it's impossible because of this. It's like, yeah, well with that attitude, it is.
But there is. I still struggle with, well, I'm not gonna make it because who the hell would ever? If I can do it, everyone can do it. That's sort of.
No, that's a shitty attitude to have too.
It is, but
that's why I say everybody has their mountain.
It is so ingrained in me at this point that if I can do it, it's not a worthwhile skill.
That just sounds like something from your parents, like ingrained in you, being like, "You should be playing these games."
That's so weird because. Okay, here's, just to let my parents off the hook. My parents were super supportive of anything I did. Like when I said I wanted to play in a punk band, my dad was like, "Do you need to buy you sticks?" It's like,
hell yeah, good dad.
Yeah, he's awesome. So it was never. It's all in my head. No one instilled that shit in my brain. It's all in my head.
Are we playing Quake or are we having therapy right now?
I think we're doing both.
Quake is very therapeutic.
It is, isn't it?
I love that.
I don't understand how anybody knew where anybody was in this game when all of it just sounds like a loud noise.
Okay, so you're correct. There's no positional audio.
There doesn't have to be.
Stereo left, right panning. What you did to know where people were in the game was
nice sound
the
effects.
item pickups and how they were picked up.
Yes, you could tell if you played the map long enough, you could hear. Okay, that teleporter went off, and then that sound effect picked up. Yeah, and then he picked up the berserker or whatever.
Just turn on Twitch and watch Space Story.
By the way,
I mean, I'm too focused. I can't watch this stream, but
what is everyone saying in the text chat? I have no fucking idea. I didn't even turn on.
But everything is brown. You can't tell where anybody is.
That's why they do the bright skins, dude.
No, but that doesn't help.
Games, UT, the new Coca
brown and all thing.
Messiah, who's a big Quake guy, is like UT's for plebs. I used to play this on M Player, which no one remembers like crazy. I remember M Player.
I remember M Player too.
Being really laggy.
I remember M Player being way out of my reach because dial-up in Denmark was like, as everything else in Denmark, like 10 years behind everything. So there was no such thing as TCP/IP play when Quake came out. We got our first dial-up modem in 1995, and it was a shit show, I might add.
I'm doing the weird camping thing inside here. Come get me.
Now I'm just
I remember
thinking
doing
of the
this
American
back in the day.
Online disc, where they gave you a certain amount of hours for American Online from various discs.
Oh, fuck off. I'm sorry.
Like the original
Django?
Sex Quest had that.
Oh, God.
The Wango?
I really
Oh,
wanted...
yeah,
this
oh,
map.
no. Oh, God.
This is the Q test map. Remember?
Wait, what the? Did I just? How
Good
did I?
Lord!
I just spawned.
Blast from the fucking past!
Yeah, it's the
Dude!
Q test map.
Dude! Yes!
Dude.
No,
Dude.
honestly,
Dude.
I went
No,
full
dude.
90s. I went full 90s on you. And the reason I went full
That
90s
person
on you
went
is
by really fast.
before Quake came out, they had, Alexander already said it, they had Q-Test, which was released on BBSs, and people were just sharing it like mad. People who went to like private lands had it burned on CDs just so people could install it. And the great thing was, you didn't have to have a CD in your drive to play. There was no copy protection. Everyone could just have a copy and just fucking play. It was amazing.
What? And it was just this?
It was
Yeah,
just
it
this
was
map.
like this and like one other map. It was DM2 and DM1, I believe.
No, as far as I know, this was it. There might have
DM2
been
was in there too.
There might have been an update. I don't know. Q test for us, at least when we were kids. Maybe we didn't know how to switch maps. I don't know. I don't remember. But this was the fucking shit, and we played the fucking shit out of this map. This map alone.
This looks like.
Well, I mean, this was
isn't
one of
this
the two maps.
Isn't this like an edited version of the first level?
No, this is just a map for deathmatch that they created because they were just trying to get people to test it and see if it worked on their system.
Oh,
think
I
John
meant
Romero made this
some
map.
of the aspects of it look like the first level.
It's got probably the same skins
campaign
or something. Yeah.
No, but
So,
this, I forgot this existed. That's why I'm so fucking over the moon by this, because this is
So I
bringing
should probably give
all
some
sort of memories
context.
back. Yes, please.
Some historian context. So,
Please.
In January of 1996, they shipped something called Q-Test. And when they
Shipped.
released it, it had just a, well, when you say ship, it was literally just like, hey, it's on our FTP.
They uploaded it somewhere,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they uploaded to the
I've got
university FTP.
and you had to have someone's phone number to download it.
I just got two kills with the axe because I ran out of bullets.
That's the
Yeah,
beauty
I
of
think
the
this
Q
map was
test, man.
designed for less than 4 people because the default for the servers were only 4 people because they were just testing multiplayer. The whole point was their game engine was brand new. They were doing some stuff in the Pentium processor that wasn't well documented. They found some bugs on it. They're like, well, shit, there might be some other bugs that we might not know about on other processors. So they released this multiplayer test as a thing for people online. They're like, well, if they're online, they'll just play multiplayer. And it turns out just everybody downloaded this and ran it on their system. I mean, even I ran it when I was like, I can't play multiplayer on this because it was DOS and they didn't have the TCP/IP wrapper yet built for Windows. Someone else like built that, and then when they shipped the game, they're like, oh, well, we should probably do this because a lot of people are in Windows.
That's right. This was IPX only, local area network
no,
only.
I mean, it could do, I think it could do TCP/IP, but you had to have a driver in DOS for it, and not very many people had those because those are just on like network cards and stuff.
Exactly. Oh shit. Let's not even go into the fucking a myriad of headaches you would acquire just by setting up network cards in DOS in the mid 90s.
I never had that experience. I always just ran it through Windows through a little tunneler.
Okay, sidetrack just for a brief second. The first LANs that I went to weren't even, you know, your standard AR-45. Is that what they're called? Those little phone...
RJ-45.
Yeah, those little phone thingamajigs, the little clicky...
RJ-45.
RJ-45 is Ethernet, RJ-11.
I thought they were AR-45. Fuck it. Anyway, those things.
AR, that's a weapon.
Most
AK-47.
Used to play Quake.
I went to LANs with an AR-45. I shot everyone. That's why I'm in jail right now. Look at.
I send my network traffic through bullets.
But okay, so
I went
here's
to land with my
graphics card on a
FQ1.
flamethrower.
I got made fun of.
before anyone had like switches and hubs and all this shit, you know, everyone would plug their computers into the hub, and then if someone left, then no big deal. You just unplug your shit and move on. No.
Yeah, local area networks were not very popular, especially in home computing. They were only in business computing.
The first lands I went to was Token Ring. We had a
Token Ring.
Token rings were fun. That basically means you were just daisy chaining computers, and when someone's mom came to pick you up, you had to get on the floor, unplug your computer, and everyone else had to get on the floor and unplug their fucking computers as well, because
terminate. Yeah.
Thanks,
So it
Mom.
uses RG5 cable, which is single strand cable, what you used to plug in for the antenna on your television or the old cable box. Maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. Again, cable box is a very American thing. I don't know why I said again, because it's like I've been reminding you all stream. By the way, cable boxes.
By the way, Americans.
By the way, Americans.
John Romero's about to make you his sandwich.
Yes.
John Romero's about to make you his therapist. Which is
John Romero's about to make you his cattle bunny.
John Romero's about to get into bed with you and cuddle the shit out of you. Sorry, I promise not to do the southern thing again. I have no
there's
ammo.
an axe in my face.
That would be me.
Take that pant load.
But yeah, these were the original deathmatch maps.
John Romero's
in
about
Quake.
to run Crisis.
Can John Romero run Crisis?
John Romero's about to make you a sandwich.
John Romero's about to accept Lord Jesus as his savior. Wait, what?
Just said no one
John
ever.
Romero's about to snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah!
John Romero's about to get into his PJs and get real comfortable. Wait, what?
I'm just trying to
Those
find
Macho
a
Man
weapon
Slim
here.
Jim commercials, though. Those were the best.
I actually met John Romero one time at E3.
John Romero's about to drink the Kool-Aid.
I just heard a John Romero story at E3. I want to hear this.
Yes.
No, it was very simple. At the time, I was working for QA for a video game company, and
A video game company. It was not. Insert.
What? I
Let's just say
I was
BioWare.
waiting for your riff there.
I didn't have
anyway,
one.
so I was there. I was unlike everybody else. I was actually running around the floor, getting a bunch of goodies and T-shirts and prizes. And a friend of mine who also worked there, he gave me a video camera and told me to go take pictures and get interviews and get all this kinds of stuff. And I wandered over into the Midway area. They had like this big old room for Midway. And I ran into John Romero, and I just wanted to talk to him. And I said, "Hey, I'm with the QA group with so and so. What do you have? What advice you give for game designers, for people who really want to make games and further on their career?" And the guy was absolutely just. He was really enthusiastic, and he
That's
just
awesome.
really gave it everything, and just said you gotta focus on the passion of the thing and what you want to make, and working with others, and it's a wonderful experience. And I mean, it's a lot different from the stories I heard about John Romero being kind of full of himself. He was just a very nice guy right there, just willing to talk with me and talk to this video camera.
That is awesome. I had the pleasure of interviewing John Romero with my friends Gareth and Frederick on the Backseat Designers podcast, where he famously said, "Doom was an adventure game. Why weren't you people paying attention?" It was fantastic. And John Romero may have had an ego problem earlier in the days, like before Ion Storm, but I think Ion Storm humbled him a lot. And he has just come out the other end just being an absolutely like courteous, lovely, just fantastic all-around guy, really.
Well, you also have to remember too that id Software started in your 20s, or in their 20s, like a bunch of guys. So like, imagine what you were like in your 20s.
I was
Were you a big piece of shit in your 20s?
Full on shit heel.
And not to mention all the games that got published back in the day by just getting software man.
Yeah, because he was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You have the skills like John Romero, and I know, you know, Carmack wrote the engine, sure, but Romero had the imagination, and he was a master at building maps, like a true master. Like the sort, like you look at like Renaissance paintings of map making. It's fucking John Romero and his majestic hair. It's
John Romero da Vinci.
Yeah, John Romero the fucking Vinci. So of course.
Has anybody made Photoshop pictures of John Romero on romance novel covers?
I am.
I'm pretty sure someone's found it.
Someone has to have. It's very obvious now that you say it.
A kiss of doom.
Eat your fucking heart out, Fabio. Whatever the hell
You know,
your name
Fabio was on several video game covers.
He was?
Yes, he was. The sequel of Wizards and Warriors for the NES, Iron Blood.
No fucking way.
I kid you
I gotta
not.
look this up. Iron Blood, you said?
Iron
Oh,
Blood.
no one
And
bragged.
that cover actually made it onto a cover of Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Well, join me next time for SQH Plays.
Yes, he is definitely on Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors.
But is he on someone else's Iron Sword, or is it just his own?
I'm on my own
He's
sword,
shirtless
baby.
and has a big sword and a big belt.
Does he has his big sword out? I don't know. Fabio's kind of a hunk. I'm just saying. I mean,
It looks like Fabio the Barbarian, I'd say.
Fabio can't believe
it's not
your
real
sword
Fabio.
isn't butter.
Fabio is about to ready to
believe it's not a
fight
butter
his greatest arch nemesis, the goose that slammed into him at the roller coaster.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You know, the best part about that is, like, when he wrote the people, the only thing he wanted was for them to, like, try and make sure that wouldn't happen again. He didn't ask for any money or anything ridiculous like that. He just, like, you know, put up some sort of, like, net or something so that, you know, fucking birds can't fly into roller coaster space and smash people in the face.
I seem to have missed some important
Yeah, me
bit
too.
of American
Please tell me
trivia
what's
here.
up. You just got raided by Amiga Bill with 74 people.
Hey,
Oh,
Amiga, again,
What's up,
I am
Amiga
not
Bill?
actually reading the chat, which is horrifying because I actually have the chat visible on the stream, so hopefully no one is abusing the privilege. But hi, Amiga Bill, thank you so much for raiding us. You
Play
other
Quake with
weirdo.
us.
Yeah, come on, play Quake. It runs on the Amiga. There's an Amiga client.
Is there?
Yeah, there's an Amiga client for Quake World.
Oh, it has to be an Amiga
Can't get it.
32. It can't run on a stock
And
Amiga
it runs on like an Amiga
500.
4000 or something.
Back in my day, we used to have the Amiga 500, and I said I wasn't going to do the Southern accent again. I
Don't
lied.
worry, us Americans are not offended.
We're just laughing.
Do we only have Americans in the voice chat right now, and then little old European me?
Affirmative.
America!
Fuck
Yeah.
Just checking. Just checking. How many people I can offend?
USA!
John Romero, fuck yeah. Coming around and make some motherfucking grapes, John Romero. Fuck
Did
yeah.
you say go around and make some fucking grapes? It's like the most random thing I've ever heard. John
Make a sandwich and frack his ass.
John Romero barefoot in his bathtub making some grapes.
I don't know what you guys just walked into, but like your viewer count's going way down.
Did anyone?
Oh man, I just walked into this.
Did anyone seriously expect something awesome to happen on this stream? I
I expect to be blackmailed by this video.
Here's the thing. I've been streaming for quite some time. I've learned that viewer counts are just, you know, they're just there.
It's just a number, man.
It's not really-
exactly. It's like when you play
As long
Quake.
as you have somebody.
It's not representative. Where am I? I just, dude,
Where
no,
are all of
sorry.
us?
I had a
where
whole
are
joke
you?
planned. But I now find myself on top of the fucking map. Like I'm
Just ask
literally.
my rocket where you are.
Someone just rocket jumped me. I am camping. Fuck that.
Yeah, you need to camp in the rocket room, dude.
I didn't know. Oh! God! Did I fuck up and a half?
Oh, I like the echo on that one. That one
Yeah.
was a loud one.
I'm sorry. Oh shit! No, dude, I got teleported up to the you're not supposed to be here kind of thing on top of the map, and I
Thanks,
had like
Amiga Bill. Thanks for bringing all your viewers here. We're all playing Quake. You guys actually can jump in and play with us if you have a Quake client. I'll put the
Yes.
server
Why
link in the
not?
chat.
and you can also join the voice chat. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can.
See you, Amiga Bill. Have fun. At the
cheers,
park,
dude.
Because I know that's what you do every time you end your stream.
For a second, I thought his name was Amigo Bill. Like, he was just
Amiga.
a friendly Bill.
Well,
No, the Amiga
is just
PC.
the feminine version of Amiga.
It's interesting. It's very interesting that the Amiga, the computer Amiga, is gendered. You can actually say, "My Amiga." Oh, she's not feeling well.
Well, but it's because of the language too, right? We don't have gendered words in English. The Commodore girlfriend.
Commodore girlfriend. Yep, that is technically what it means.
We don't have gendered words in Danish either. Well, we kind of have, but not in the same way as German and
It's
Spanish.
not a romance language with gendered nouns.
Which is again so weird. The thing, because German is a compulsory subject in Danish schools, we have to learn German, and German has these very strict guidelines for what is gendered, what is neutral gender, what is male gender, what is female gender, and we are talking objects here. And my teacher, I remember this very vividly. My German teacher said, female German teacher, by the way, she said this with sort of a wry smile. She said, "Well." A rule of thumb is that anything that can contain another thing is usually female. So a cupboard is female, a car is female. Oh, a car is actually neutral gender, but you get what I'm saying. Like a jug would be female, and it's such a weird concept to me.
We call ships girls, and I remember one way to remember that is because ships are also always chasing after buoys.
Oh, good fucking lord!
Nice.
So why are tornadoes always female in the U.S.?
I don't know.
Is that a setup, or you really do want to know?
No, I
really
honestly want to know.
Okay, here's actually the reason
for it.
It's not all tornadoes are female. The tornadoes and the hurricanes and all of that, every other year it goes from boy names to girl names, and it starts with A and then continues onward.
So somehow the tornadoes know this, and they alternate. So the really, really awful ones are always the female ones.
So you have like 1 year, like the first one would be like Arthur. The next one would be Bob. But then the year after that, it would be Hurricane Amy, and then Hurricane Bernice.
I've met Hurricane Amy. She's on my Discord. She's lovely.
Oh wow, I'm being shot at pretty hard.
I'm absolutely being gutted right now. Thank you for the insight. I actually did not know that.
There is a rhyme or reason to it. Unlike this game where we just all jump in and we're like, how do I get weapon? Well, you just kind of hop in and get lucky.
How do I get good? The answer is you play this for about 16 years and then maybe you have a shot.
There's a lot of people have been playing this. Like, look at these people in here that are destroying us 150 ping. Quebeca!
I think I might actually. Okay, let's say this is the last map we'll play, because I might have to bail after this. I do have. It is a school night.
Okay. Do you have a map request that you want to have?
Oh, a map request. Can we? I know this is kind of weak sauce, but can we do DM4 again?
Yeah.
Can we play Duke Nukem Forever?
All right, everybody, grab a weapon and camp it because there's a lot of people in here.
Oh shit balls. This is gonna be fucking mental. Here we go, people. Just crank whatever CD you've got in the player. If you don't have a CD, burn it.
What CD's in your player right now?
Yeah. What CD's in your player right now? Go.
Nothing.
Dare to be stupid. Or Weird Al's Trigger Happy.
Bloodhound Gangs, hooray for boobies. Fuck me, I just fucking fragged myself. Oh god. Okay.
I got hand of the pop.
I used to be good at this map. I used to be a contender.
I will say that my brain is getting frazzled playing for like 2 hours straight.
Mine too. I've only been playing this
I remember
for
playing for like 6-7 hours straight. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, like when you went to LANs, you used to sit up to like 4 a.m. This is when you could stay up late and your body would just be like, we'll shrug it off. Yeah. Fuck me! Fuck me!
Who's got the quad?
Is this Leisure Suit Larry now?
Magna Cum Laude seems a little different than I remember it. Fuck me! Fuck me! I am terrible. I am
just better than that.
Stop! I keep getting walked into the lava.
Is that game even canon?
Magna Cum Laude? Fucking hope not. It is fucking even Allo has disowned it. The fucking did it?
Wasn't he not involved really at all with it?
No, he was not. He was not. The weird thing is that every Sierra property got transferred to Activision except for Leisure Suit Larry. It somehow ended up in the hands of Codemasters in Britain. What the fuck am I doing? Somehow ended up in Codemasters' hands, and they've been licensing it out to random people. Awful people.
Could they license you out a Sierra property? I mean, like, how much money could it be?
They don't care because it's it's Leisure Suit Larry. They own it, and I don't know how it ended up in Codemasters, but that's why we got Magna Cum Laude and Box Office Bust. Which, by the way, has anyone checked the IMDb credit for Box Office Bust? It is fucking insane.
I remember like seeing the game for a little bit, but like never like playing them.
No, the game
was like, oh man, this looks awful.
The game is fucking atrocious. The game is a hate crime.
Oh jeez. It came out on the original Xbox, if I remember right.
No,
I remember renting it and being like, I wonder what this even is. I was like, oh man.
The game is fucking terrible, but the voice cast has Jay Moore and the dad from Arrested Development, I forget his name, Jeffrey Tambor. It plays Leisure Suit Larry, and like a host of really famous actors doing voice work for the most terrible game you could ever imagine.
Remember, Larry, there's always money in the banana stand.
Why do I keep throwing myself into the fucking lava? I have questions. One serious question I do have to pose to the chat, and please raise your hand. Why did I open this fucking server to the public?
You should, because Quake is more fun when there's like a meat grinder of like 12 people in a map designed for 4.
Fucking meat grinder. You have
fun for everyone.
That is so accurate. That was a fucking meat. I am so happy. I'm quitting the game now. I'm out.
You're done? I was gonna play the start map. Remember deathmatching in the start map, where it's just like, we played every other map.
Oh, the actual start map, the level select start map.
Yeah, the level select map.
Fuck me. Okay, we're doing that.
You're like,
and then, yeah.
Well, Shadow's like, why is it skipping all the good maps?
Jointgame.humaninteract.com. Fuck yeah, we're doing the start map, and then we're out.
The guy's like, why are you skipping all the good maps? It's like, that's a Quake hardcore right there.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, episode 3 is like the best one because it's got the rockets and I think the lightning. It's like bullshit. Like they were not thinking of this. Like, well, we need to make spawns for this, so.
This game is not. I mean, these maps were made for like. These maps were made for lands. These maps were made for.
Wait, did I just fall through like 3 layers of water?
Yeah,
yes, you
really
did.
Cool.
Yep.
And if you stand right back, if someone lets you stand right back, you fall into what is that thing called? It's not the quant damage. It's the mega healthy thing.
Yeah, basically you pick a pick a world and you're like, that's my world, I'm camping it, and then everybody just tries to get weapons from you.
Speaking of, if anyone wants to visit World 3, well,
Wait,
would you like a grenade?
I just got. If you try jumping in one of the level spawns, it just kills you.
Yes.
Yeah, well that's ending the level. You can't end the level, buddy. Oh man,
Yes!
World 2 is great. You get armor and grenade launcher.
Oh
and
no, shit. Fuck it. It's World 3. Yeah, World 3 has a rocket launcher and goodness coming out the wazoo.
Yeah, but I do remember playing these levels. There's somebody like spawn camping really hard back there.
Yes. Would you mind cover your ears, children? Who's fucking camping in World 3?
I think it's Russ. He's got 45 kills.
Fuck off, you piece of shitey bastard! I went full British on you. That's how much I hate you.
You guys are all like going straight forward. We're just feeding him kills, man. This isn't like Normandy. This isn't the D-Day map, okay? Like, find somewhere else to go.
Dude, this isn't the Holocaust, man. Find a different tragedy.
Alright, I'm gonna go for it now. I don't see him shooting.
And there we go.
Thanks, Russ.
That was worth it. I did not finish last, despite joining last. I'm a little surprised myself, actually. Nope, not doing that one.
You're like, nope, I'm not doing it again.
Nope, not doing that one.
Happy birthday, Quake.
Yeah, happy
Yes.
birthday, Quake.
Happy birthday,
You have
Quake.
been amazing to me.
Yes. Did we
24
cover
years.
everything? LANs, online play, just the gaming sphere of the mid-90s.
QuakeCon, the creation of esports.
It pretty much was. We kind of skipped over that because
it's credited as the creation of esports. Thresh is considered the first esports player.
Yeah.
makes sense. I was kind of not into that. I was not competitive. I was not into that whole competitive spirit. So someone will have to fill me in on the actual esports thing. You know, when people started joining teams and people had captains and people were shouting at each other, "Do better, do better." It's like I don't know how to do better. I have a shotgun. Does that count? Sorry. Go ahead.
I said thanks for the follow, Locust.
Oh, cheers. Thanks.
Yeah, we haven't like totally ignoring this. You probably just like picked up like 20 followers.
I have no idea what happened in the chat. Honestly, no fucking idea. So I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Hi. I appreciate you. So that's the best I can do. I'll have to watch this back at some point and see what happened. And that's kind of what I can do. I don't know.
I know you're so flustered right now. It's great. Like you just had like your mind run through the grinder for an hour.
I know it's fucking hypnotic, isn't it? It just comes at you. I'll rephrase that. Quake just fucking floods you. Okay, again. Quake just fucking shoots in your face. Okay, I don't. It just absolutely throttles you. I'll go with that one. I'm gonna go with that
Full
one.
throttle.
Full throttle. It just rams down your throat. No, wait, that's weird. But anyway, no, it is a fucking sensory overload thing, and it's you just I don't know what I just said in the past hour and 40 minutes. I think I got deep at some point. I don't know. I'll have to check the VOD. It's just. Things got amazing. This was a really good experience. I'm so glad I'm home alone. This could have been very
I'm glad
awkward.
I was able to pull you out of craziness in your house and make you feel like a kid then for a second, because to me that's what I do and that's what I'm all about, you know.
Oh, dude. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting this, SQH, man.
Cheers. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you resurrect at some point. I hear that's what you're good at. It's a pun. His name's Dead God. I'm funny.
What's next up on the Space Quest Historian channel? Get up gig. What are you thinking next? I want the deets. I want to know the insights.
Thank you for asking. I'm just doing videos when the kid's asleep, and I'm just sort of whispering into the microphone. Luckily, my Discord has this lovely channel called Digital Archaeology, where a number of really insane people, like people who are not well mentally, are going through the Space Quest games, like debugging, like taking them apart and going through the scripts and figuring out shit that I didn't even know was in the games. And then I take that information that they pour out and put them into videos. So I'm doing really lazy, stupid content right now. Oh, but
I've been loving those videos though, man. They've been great. Like just watching all the weird stuff that's in there, because I didn't know any of that stuff was in the games.
Me neither. It's as much fun for me as it is for and they keep telling me, oh, it's just fun to see it in a video. Like, yeah, it's fun to.
It still takes time to put the videos together, though, man. Like even if someone's doing all the research for you, it's still a heavy lift that you're doing on your side.
I like to think of it as a community effort.
It is. You give props to your community, so you know.
In the sense that I am using the community for content, it is very much a community effort. I am, however, I am planning a series very shortly that I'm going to call the Space Quest Primers, which is going to be just a single video on each Space Quest game. Like if you had to do a test and the subject was Space Quest. There's just a 20-minute video or less that just tells you everything you need to know about Space Quest 1, and then Space Quest 2, and then Space Quest 3. Just rapid fire. Just do. That's coming up next. That's my big project next.
Make sure you got some banjo music playing.
Notes.
Sorry, what? What was that?
It's basically Space Quest Cliff Notes.
Yes, the Cliff Notes. Yes, exactly. So
the Space Quest Cliffy Notes.
Yeah, I'm going to call the
Chippy Notes.
SQ5 is definitely going to be called the Cliffy Notes. I'm going to have to do that. Yes. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to have to dive out and pretend to be a conscientious human and get up early in the morning and attend work and shit. Maybe have a shower. I don't know. I've been sitting on the lights for an hour and a half now.
What's that like?
Humid.
Good answer.
Quite dewy, thank you.
But seriously, all right, okay, let's shout people out. Thank you, Alexander, for setting this whole thing in motion, and happy birthday to Quake and John Romero's bastard brown love child that it is, and thank you to everyone in the voice chat who joined. I do want to give a special shout out to Sam, who joined, who is one of the digital archaeology people. He's done amazing work, and he's next week we're actually going to do a video on a secret in Space Quest 4 that has eluded people for close to 30 years. Very excited about that one. He found out a thing, so it was really great for him to join. And also my friend Davy Newton. I just call him Davy Newton. His name is David. But it's really cool to have him because he's very he's with the Doom community. So to see him join a game of Quake was really awesome to me. And also he has a wonderful accent. And of course to Dead God and Mike and Neviklink and Headroom, who are currently in the voice chat. Cheers ever so much, guys, for joining us. And to everyone who was here and then left. Woo! So, with all that said, I'm probably forgetting something important, but I don't give a shit. Go check out Alexander's channel at Human Interact. He also made a game, I think. It's probably very good, I think. I did play it at some point. I still have his VR helmet, by the way. Do you want that thing back at some point?
At some point, yeah, but it might be worth... we'll see. I'll tell you what, we'll talk later.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna say it's full of dandruff, and it's been in my closet for a couple of months now since my kid turned 5 months a couple of days ago. So that gives you an idea of how much time it's had to sort of ferment.
Got it.
Yeah. So I'll give that a quick rinse, and whenever you want it back, I'll give it back. But anyway, thank you guys so much out there for watching. Everyone in the text chat. I'm sorry I didn't respond to anything you wrote. We'll see how
Quake can do
horrible
that
it was.
sometimes.
Yeah, it was kind of an onslaught. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around the Chrono stream. Bye.
Bye.